My name remains Senator Osita Izunaso, OFR, always your man in Abuja.
Sure
You will recall
you cannot create a state without amending the constitution. So that is the stage where we are now. Now somebody will ask, what is the rationale? The rationale is that of all the geopolitical zones in Nigeria, it's only the southeast that has remained 5 states. The rest of the zones have 6 states each. Even northwest have 7 states. So we're saying that there's need for that additional state for the southeast. Let us be at par with other zones of the federation. And if that is not done, then the southeast will be losing a lot in terms of representation. Today we have only 15 senators. All other zones are having 18. Southwest is having 21 senators. So we're saying no, give us this additional state so that we can have 3 senators added to what we already have now, and more numbers of House of Representatives, more local governments, and all the rest of them. So even when you come to the southeast, the argument is which state will be created. It is only fair and just that you create a state from part of Imo State and part of Anambra State. What is the reason? The reason is that initially we only have 2 states from the southeast, Anambra and Imo. Imo was created into 2, giving birth to Abia. Anambra was created, giving birth to Enugu. Then thereafter, the same Enugu and Abia that were created from Imo State later gave birth to Ebonyi State. Part of Enugu and part of Abia made up of Ebonyi State. So originally, those 2 states of Anambra and Imo have not been touched. That is why today you have 27 local governments in Imo, 21 local governments in Anambra, Enugu have 17 local governments, Abia 17 local governments, Ebonyi 13 local governments. So it is only logical and fair enough that is part of Imo and part of Anambra that can get us this new state that we're talking about. That is why we floated the idea of Anim state. Originally, it was an Olo state movement that we're doing. But because some of our brothers from Anambra indicated interest, even up to the 8th Assembly, 9th Assembly, and now the 10th Assembly, they indicated interest. So we have to incorporate them. That is why we're now having what we call Anim state, involving part of Imo State and part of Anambra State. And the part of Imo State we're talking about is predominantly the Imo West Senatorial Zone where I represent. The local governments are 12 and are willing to merge with our brothers from Anambra State who are willing. You see, you must stress the fact, who are willing, because at the end of the day, you still have to go for a referendum. So it's not about saying you want people to join you. You don't coerce people in joining you, but those who are willing. And we've gotten a good number of our brothers and sisters from Anambra State who have indicated interest to join us, particularly from the Anambra South Senatorial Zone. So we are going to work on this state question. We'll also appeal to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do just this one thing for us in the Southeast. And that will be the beginning of fairness and equity we are talking about in Nigeria. Today in National Assembly, we are creating development commissions. Today we have Southeast Development Commission created already. You have Northwest, you have North Central, you have South, and all the development commissions. So by the time you create these development commissions, you are giving more impetus to the zones. And Southeast will still remain shortchanged because they don't have enough as per the other zones that have 6 states. So even as we are creating the development commission, because the funding of those development commissions come from statutory allocation going to these states that made up of this development commission. So Southeast will still remain shortchanged. So the funding will still be low. So we are saying, give us that additional state. And I can assure you that we're not going to struggle so much about where it will come from, because I'm sure that will be your next question. Where will it come from? I've just given you the background of where it will come from. Our governors, we are working in tandem with our governors. We're also working in tandem with our colleagues in the National Assembly and also at the various state House of Assemblies, because we know that it is constitutional amendment. So even the House of Assembly also have a role to play. So at the end of the day, we believe that this one request will be granted.